golden arrow buses being built and get that on son. Anyway. Welcome to Talks with Temarah. We are back with episode 5, guys. We are back. I'm here with my favorite co-host, Luke.
Welcome, guys. It's our first video podcast. We're here at Encore Lounge.
Can you believe I'm proud of myself?
Yeah, we can see each other clearer. You can see us, we can see you, Ish.
Yeah, now, fast on with that for them still us here. We'll be recording all our future episodes here. We can't wait. We'll piece the appearance and much more. So, episode 5 yet again. So proud of us. Well done. Thanks for your effort, Fred.
Yeah, we made it this far. This is commitment. And thank you again for your support, love, likes, comments, and shares. We really appreciate it.
I'm going to give the stage to Brooke this time. So we've got something very interesting we'll be talking about today. Go for it. What is it?
So
where are we now?
Yeah, something very close to home tomorrow is homelessness. So on our streets, on our corners, at post office, our police stations, on every corner that we go. So whether you're in your car or be driving to CBD or driving to work, what do you see? People being on the corner. I mean, do you have a favorite BB that you know?
I do. I legit have a favorite. It's not even normal to say. But it's not that I really feel for it because I let him can go up. But number 2 is always just I don't know, I just feel shy sometimes. It's like, but it's like, sometimes they say all the time, just wavy, just saying hello,
Exactly. I mean, let's just even take it back a bit. I know growing up, didn't you feel like it was aggressive sometimes? Didn't you have that moment where some people like knocking your windows, or even if you're polite and you tell them, no, I don't have money, no, I can't help you, but you take persist.
No, definitely. I mean, see this mark over here? I was checking out homeless person. No, what just there, truly, that long iron, the thing that they
girl, were you having money in your hand and they saw you?
I know what I had, man. I was walking from school and they just started chasing me, and the guy caught up to me and it was hit me in my eye. The next day I started to take a picture with Sun Cold Cuddy with it all. But anyway, that's a story for another day. But no, there's a big thing you see on every corner. I think you see on every corner just in Cape Town. What I found with the article that you've been sharing while we're doing our research, I saw 60% of homeless people are colored.
Yeah, and then it's followed up by black people and then a little bit of white people, and 1% are other.
Now how did it all start? I mean, coming out start, but I mean, that's quite a lot of people.
Well, I think there's I think it lies with a lot to do with I think homelessness can start with mental health, with losing your job, with not having any support systems like family or friends, or even just having the right resources to get back up to be reintegrated into the communities. So let's talk about standing on the corners, right? Why do people stand on corners?
Why do parents force their kids to go ask for money?
Friend, I have lots to say about that. So with parenting and you parenting children begging on the side or on the corners, you are firstly putting your children at risk, right? Dehydration, you're teaching them the mentality.
They work all the time.
Look, this is how narrow-minded you have to be. This is the only way that you can make money, how you should live, and where you should stay. Instead of being in school, instead of pursuing your dreams. So that's a major risk to children, their lifestyle, and just limiting themselves of what they can actually be doing.
Now, when I got to the carriage and I see a child and I see the mother's chilling at the over, and the child asking for a mother, then I tell the child how to feel, man.
Exactly. So I'm like this, I used to be one of those people that give money, but I realized once I give money, where does that money go? Then I changed over to buying food, giving bread, giving this or that, so that I know where the money goes instead of using drugs or going to being used for the wrong things. Now I'm at this point, I tell you which organizations to go to, or I say meet me at this day on this time, so that I can show you where to go. Take your family, go to a shelter.
In my separate,
I
they
said, they scare me. And that's what I've experienced.
no, do it.
I've even had, sorry to say, I've had shouting matches with beggars on corners because I'm like, you can help yourself.
And then what time
Let me help you.
No, it's crazy. And then, okay, so now that's one problem. That's intervention and then can go on forever. Then I want to push you. Homeless, my name is South Africa. Welcome to the beautiful my city, y'all. Why are we pumping for a 1,300? Serieus agter kinders.
And that's my problem with this world, no, with society. Our people in our communities feel. Me now it's 500 rand over. No, that's a special grant. So now it's 530 rand for the child support grant. So for every child you probably get 530 rand. But then how much does nappies cost? How much does your milk cost? How much does clothing cost? If you just swipe once, all of that is gone.
And here, me, Temarah, talking to Temarah, earning a couple of few pence is key to have a child. Or people can but just put a 350 on one farm. Where did they get this cut? Where did this page cut from?
I used to ask myself this all the time when I was working as a social worker. 12 kids. You are not even 30 a year and you have 12 kids. How now? Firstly, contraception. We spoke about this already, right? There's different ways to prevent this and put yourself there. And then for this claim, picking yourself. No man, guys. Think.
It's quite not commendable whatsoever, but it's quite like the aspiration is way bigger than mine.
But I mean, look at them. How much money do they make? What is the fact that you told me again today?
What was it? Tell me what I told you.
It was 300 to 500 rand minimum that people make on standing on the corner, right?
And we just made it now with the bridal shower. Now. It's like, wow. It's a lot of money.
Maximum 2,000 rand a day.
I don't have an hour in the day. Like, wow.
Exactly. So, I mean, people are now thinking, why must we go to work and upskill ourselves to actually earn money when I can just stand on the corner and beg? So, 2,000 a day, max. Minimum 300. I don't know.
And then, how much is it? How does the shelter thing work? See that you were in the social work industry. How does it work? You go there, is it 50 cents, is it 20 rand? I see the boys, they go and stand shelter, like 20 rand for a shelter. Is it about that?
So for shelters, it ranges from like minimum 15 rand if you don't have income. So you're unemployed and you could show that you don't have a job. You need to be out by 8 a.m. in the morning and be back by 5 p.m. to secure your spot. But while you're there are social workers to make sure that you also upskill yourself and one services, to reintegrate yourself into society, to get a job, to have a place to eat, be safe, have shelter, and basically use your time wisely. There's a whole community that's there to support you. There's so many organizations that want to help people that are homeless and get them back in society, empower them, enable them to take control of their future. But most of them, it's a choice where they say, no, I'd rather beg and earn money there than come back.
And what are these people? Oops, and I'm asking you all these questions.
Yeah, no,
I'm all in it and big. That's what this conversation was. And what's the human rights behind it?
So you have a right to have shelter, right? But
first we have that thing. Box tickle. You don't want to go? We don't know.
But the thing is, there's so many things to unpack with homelessness, like your mental health, their physical disabilities, substance abuse. Do they have support from their families? It's not just a choice, like I said, but it's also a choice to say, today I'm going to make a change. Today I'm going to choose me and empower myself. So that's why I say it's a choice, but it's not a choice to always remain on the streets. I need to tell you about chronic homelessness.
Okay, what's chronic?
So chronic homelessness is long-term periods of being homeless, whether it's at least a year or over several years. So basically, it's a lifestyle now, and a lot of people in Cape Town are chronically homeless. So we need to start from the root of it to change people's mindsets so that they can come out of it.
So now I'm homeless, I'm going to the shelter, they're upskilling me, they're getting me a job, or they're helping get a job, right? Cool. They're helping get a job. And I mean, what kind of upskill courses are these? These are like maths, literacy, you know?
So with some of the programs, it can be how to make a CV, how to prepare yourself to go for a job interview. You know, that's the basis to firstly get a job.
Okay. On that point, recently what I've noticed, and shout out to Golden Arrow buses being built and they turn on son. Anyway, yes, they got this new initiative.
So,
Let's see my song being over, let it go the case and happens later. So Golden Arrow buses has this new initiative where is you got no job, you got no money, how the hell are you going to get to the interview? So they got this thing on their website, we'll find the details and put it in the comments below, where you can then register, ID number, I'm sure you're going to this job at this place, you're going from, let's say, Crossing Fork to town, or wherever you're going to Fort or whatever, and they will then give you a special, let's say, Flipkart ticket to go for free.
This is the first time I've heard of this.
No, real stuff. So on TikTok and it's like went viral, and I think it's amazing because I've been there once upon a time where you needed money to get to somewhere and you don't know name of God. I did Judy.
You count that place out like that. Hey, what are these coins?
You know, I mean, that's excellent. That's excellent. But we'll find more details about that.
Yeah. Another interesting thing is a good friend of mine. Shout out to Danielle Lowe. She's a lawyer, activist, advocate for people that are homeless. She's dealt with people that's been evicted from houses illegally, and you know, she's been quite involved in a lot of Cape Town issues. So we have a voice note of her pointing out the core issues of homelessness and her solutions to it, which we'll play now.
Hey friend. Okay, so I'll try to just be as on the point as possible. So the main issue is that the Cape Town has seen a rise in homelessness during and post the COVID-19 pandemic. So a lot more people find themselves precariously housed on the street due to the economic impact of COVID. So a lot of people lost their jobs and a lot of people lost their homes. So there's more people on the streets in terms of numbers. Okay, so the last study that was done in 2019, 2020, just before COVID, was that there's 14,000 people on the street. Okay, however, taking into account what I just said regarding the numbers, the influx, there's definitely way more, and some people are saying like 22,000. So that's the one thing. Then we must know that a lot of the homelessness is coming from and is being driven by the situation on the Cape Flats. So the situation on the Cape Flats, the situation in townships is untenable. People aren't able to survive there. People are being shot there, you know. So people are trying to find a better life for themselves in the cities, and that is what's also driving them to come to the city. Okay. Then obviously we have the drug issue. So drug issue is sort of like a related issue, coming from, you know, hopelessness, despair that people are finding. People don't have any hope for themselves, so they escape their reality by using drugs. The response now. So the city, I would say, was ill-equipped to respond to the crisis, and homelessness then doesn't sit neatly in like, oh, this is like a purely a housing issue, this is purely a social development issue. It's an issue that sits around different it's an issue that sits around that touches on different departments of the city. So it's housing, then it's social development, but it's also economic opportunities. So there's like 3 departments that need to work together. And we know that bureaucracy, states, governments, they struggle to work together, especially the city of Cape Town. Different departments within the city don't work together. So that's one of the problems. Then now it comes with the response. Okay, so what is the city's response to homelessness? So now there's this big issue and they need to do something about it. Okay, so what they've historically been done, have done is temporary solutions, i.e. shelters, right? And in the shelter you can only stay for 3 to 6 months. So that's been the solution, and it started with the Haven, because homelessness in Cape Town started post District 6 removals. There was never really a lot of homelessness in Cape Town, but it started in full swing in the 60s, I think, when the District 6 removals was done. You must just double check when that date was, when it was. So the Haven then was the first shelter to start, and the Haven started in District 6. So so now we have the shelter model, but we having all these people coming with their complex issues. So the 6 month stay at the shelter is just maybe enough to get someone like a temporary reprieve from their extreme emergency situation, but it doesn't do anything for the person necessarily in the long term, because the person actually needs a longer time to have like a place to stay, so once they just start maybe getting to a good point, their term ends and they need to leave and make space for the next person. So what the other intervention in the safe spaces, but the city safe spaces is also the same, so you don't get your own room. So this is what I failed to say now. With shelters, it's all dorm style based. You don't get your own room. You don't get even 1 or 2 people in a room. You get sort of 40, 50, sometimes 90 people in one room, your stuff is exposed to people. There's all the abuse that happens. A lot of, because there's such a huge gap in the power relationships. So the managers and stuff of the havens, the shelters and stuff like that. There's a lot of sexual abuse that we've been told of, that I've spoken to with people on the street. So they themselves don't feel comfortable being in those spaces anymore, because they just get abused, and they need to leave anyways in 3 months or 6 months. And a lot of people, you must also know, are sitting with the substance use disorder. So now when they want to come to the shelter, they are told they need to be clean before they can come in. So it's a sort of it doesn't make sense, because people actually need to first have a stable base from where they can then start getting clean. And this is what leads me then to another type of solution, which is called housing first, right? And it's a model that was designed in the global north. So this model starts with, as the name says, housing first. So you first give someone a secure place where they can sort of regulate their nervous system, get out of survival mode, because we're also talking about the brain here, because people are operating from their primal brain, the survival brain, or the reptilian brain, which is that fight or flight instinct, But we want to move people on to the second and the third levels, which is a more high functioning type of individuals. You can think, you can philosophize, that sort of thing. But if you're operating from that trauma state, it's difficult. So the housing first takes a trauma-informed approach. It tries to get someone out of their survival mode, and it then it offers all the supportive services that the person needs. So if the person needs drug counseling, they'll get drug counseling. The person needs a parent or father, group. If they have daddy issues, they get that support. So there's a whole, it's tailored to the person's need, and there's obviously now a social worker or 2, depending on how many people live in the house, that is there to cater to this person's needs.
Thank you so much, Danny, for all your input on homelessness, your experience, and your solutions. We really appreciate it. So back to our experience of homelessness. I hear you got a question.
I do. Right. Then it was your job. Your house has to be given up for whatever goddamn reason. They got 1,000 and that's 2. No gathers, no pins, for example. What do? What is your plan of action? Yeah. This isn't deep in this, not auntie, Caesar, I'm real.
So I'll make sure that I'll go to a shelter. Right. Stick a Haven shelter or something. Get my place there. They try to look for a job. Every day go job hunting. Save everything. Do odd jobs, whether I'm a domestic or if I waitress or if I clean up in the kitchen or anything. Every little bit counts. As long as I can make 100 rand a day, I can pay for food, I can pay for shelter, and I can look nice to go for an interview.
Well, I don't know what I will do, eh? And I'll become more bitchy lazy first. I'm like, okay, we leave. But
When you're homeless, you have time to be lazy, you know what?
and like, people actually have time to be lazy. You might think I'm going to sit at cooking time.
Yeah.
We don't know how people's minds work.
I actually, even being a social worker, I don't know that. Because I say these things there, like, this is what I do, but you think it now. Yeah, you make me think now. What if I'm actually, it hits me?
Yo,
I'm gonna freeze. I'm gonna be like you. Why me?
we're talking from people that we're too less driven. And ambitious now.
So
we don't need that time.
Yo, but I don't get it that because me and you are asking it, so it's hard for me and you, and for in my opinion,
One of the body that us, but
yeah, to picture us in that situation, but it can happen to anyone. I want to also add that homelessness can happen to anyone. We should be more empathetic to people and know that they are still human beings and should be treated with dignity and respect that they deserve. So yes, we can talk and we can laugh now about homelessness and whatever, but it's actually a prevalent crisis that Cape Town and South Africa as a whole is going through. There's 22,000 people that are homeless in South Africa.
That's a lot, eh? And that's a lot. There's a lot of our people. You know, our people from the middle industry. Like, guys, it is a serious topic. We hope we could enlighten you. We hope we can help somebody
I
out
hope
there.
we shed some light on there and that we could give you some insight into homelessness in Cape Town.
Check out the links below. We'll try to do as much as possible. Share it if you can. And our homeless, you're going to see them.
Oh, yeah, maybe we should take it to the streets.
Maybe there's something to see. But for now, guys, that's that. Number one, we want to say again, thank you to Encore Lounge for hosting us. We'll see more of us on this couch. And remember, life is good regardless.